Complex PTSD, From Surviving to Thriving, written by Pete Walker, reviewed by Henry Mathieson. Complex PTSD, From Surviving to Thriving is an informational book, produced by Pete Walker. It navigates his approach to helping survivors progress through post-traumatic stress disorder, specifically targeted to those suffering from complex PTSD, which is a subcategory caused from prolonged trauma, such as physical, verbal, and emotional abuse. This book helps guide the audience to progress from surviving to thriving, allowing the option to navigate through the book at their own pace, creating a personalized experience for what they need. It also covers many subtopics, which are categorized into 16 chapters, with the final 2 chapters being used to guide further recovery using other books. The book also dives into the major misconceptions of C-PTSD, shining light on the impact of prolonged trauma. To better understand Pete Walker's knowledge of complex PTSD, he states information such as, some of the latest research in neuroscience suggests that we need a modicum of stress in our lives. This kind of stress is called optimal stress. Optimal stress is the balanced, moderate amount of stress that appears to be necessary to grow the new neurons and connections that correlate with keeping the brain healthy, which, in summary, says that your body requires a small amount of stress to work properly. This shows that Pete Walker has a fantastic understanding of the influence of stress on humanity, and that he has found that stress is not always a negative thing. There were many instances of insightful motivational quotes from the book. My favorite quote from Complex PTSD, From Surviving to Thriving, is, "The more self-supportive we become, the more we can attract the support of others. The more we are supported by others, the more we can support ourselves." To me, this quote represents the idea that one is more open to receiving help when they are actively willing to help themselves. In another perspective, the more other people are supportive, the more willing you are to help yourself. This quote is all about motivation and support, a key topic when helping someone with complex PTSD. There are many topics covered in this book, many of which related to family life's influence on complex PTSD. What comes with all of this information are likes and dislikes of the book. One of my favorite parts of the book was the insightful information that Pete Walker provided. He gave direct information from his work with clients, using words such as, "one of my clients told me," and similar phrases throughout the book. One of my largest dislikes from the book was the use of unfamiliar words. This caused me, a 14-year-old high school student, to resort to looking up these words to better understand the message being portrayed. With the target audience being around my age, I believe that the choice of words could better fit the amount of knowledge one has gathered. Another dislike was the organization of information. It often felt like, whilst reading the entire book, the information was spread out from a single topic throughout the book, causing pieces of information to feel detached from the topic. Would I recommend this book? When it comes to whether or not I would recommend this book, it's quite specific. This book has accurate information on the topic, creating a quality atmosphere to learn, both for those struggling with complex post-traumatic stress disorder and not. A negative side of the book was that there were many stereotypes that Pete Walker used to portray, as he describes them, normal people, which refers to the people who do not have and do not struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder. I believe this is a bad statement that may create the idea to those with complex PTSD that they are not normal. This may not be a bad thing, however, the way I recognize these incidents came across as negative. The book also has a lot of information that is not suitable for younger audiences, who, from my information, is the targeted audience. Without going too deep into this, there are many sexual themes and ideas placed throughout this book, many in spots without warning. For these reasons, I would say that Complex PTSD, From Surviving to Thriving is not suitable for those who are not yet in high school, or for those people who do not have complex PTSD, with the exception of wanting to learn more. I do, however, believe that this book is a valuable piece of information to guide the navigation of complex PTSD, and that my review, coming from someone who does not have C-PTSD, does not accurately represent someone with complex post-traumatic stress disorder would review and think of this book. Thank you.